Good morning. Just wanted to pop on and explain a couple things about what's happening this week in state politics. It's getting a little confusing, maybe, because we're kind of at the end of session and we've switched over from what's primarily like committee meetings where people can kind of go in person and speak for or against bills in Tallahassee. Now we're in mostly full Senate and full House session, which means this is kind of like the final stop for bills. So they've had to go through House committees and Senate committees, and now they're on the Senate floor and the House floor, being heard and possibly being voted into law with the governor's signature, or as long as he doesn't veto it. So I've kind of identified two big priorities for this week, and I don't know if they're kind of getting lost in the shuffle because I've been asking everyone to do a lot of things along the way, and you all have really stepped up, and it's been wonderful. But I just wanted to explain a little bit about what's happening right now, the final week of session. And you may hear that session is being extended, but the last part will just be about the budget, which we could weigh in and on too. But we're talking about for this week, the 12 bills that I've dubbed the Dirty Dozen. And you've probably gotten an email from me or seen it in a previous post. You can look up the Dirty Dozen on my website if you go to my homepage and scroll all the way to the bottom. They're listed there. And rather than trying to keep up like in real time with when they're being heard, my idea was that just to give you the list of 12 and have you call or write your senator and representative, your personal senator and representative, and ask them to vote no for those bills. You could certainly write other senators and representatives. That would be great too, but trying to keep it actionable. I've got some verbiage in previous posts as well. It could be very simple. Just please vote down these bills and list them. You don't have to describe them. They know which the bills are. You can keep it super simple. So that's action item number one, is to try to just at least write your rep and your state senator this week before it's too late. And then the second action item, my good friend cohort in St. Johns County, Ann Trussler, and I put together a petition to get or to ask the state legislature to not ignore the Hope scandal, where money was funneled from a Medicaid settlement into anti-amendment propaganda, anti-amendment 3 and 4 in the last election cycle by the governor and possibly the attorney general. This was an issue that they were looking into last week, but with everything going on now kind of ramping up or wrapping up, I should say, in the session, it's maybe going to get ignored or, they're not going to have time to address it. So we need to put pressure on them. So Ann and I put this petition together, and I would ask you from the bottom of my heart to go ahead and click on the link, change.org. I'll put the link at the bottom of this post so it's easy to find. And if you would just please sign the petition and share the petition with your network, because Ann and I have reached out to the House Speaker, who has shown the most interest in this issue, as well as the leader, the chairperson of that committee, Representative Andrade. And we've asked them via letter to not drop this issue, to address it. And if we don't hear back from them, or if it's not satisfactory, we would like the power of a petition. And if we have a lot of signatures on there, we have a better chance of having them, pursue this issue and figure out where the money went, or, well, we kind of have a good idea of where it went. It went to these campaigns, but we need to get that money back. That's state, that's our money that, they just siphoned off. The governor and the attorney general allegedly siphoned off to have this propaganda campaign. And that's money that should be in Medicaid in the state of Florida. So it should make us all very angry that the money just disappeared. And now it's up to us to do something about it, I think. So please sign the petition. So I'll put a link for the Dirty Dozen. That's task number one. And for the petition signing, in the show notes, if you want to call this a show. I'll put that in the show notes. And if you could please find a few minutes this week to do that, I promise I'll probably stop bugging you. I will stop bugging you about legislative stuff. Starting on Monday, unless there's some budget things that maybe we could influence. I will not stop bugging you about the petition. If you will, please, like I said, sign it yourself and also share it with your network. Okay, I hope that explains where we're at in session. I hope that gets you up to speed. If you could help me out with those 2 items, and then we can enjoy our summer a little bit more. Okay, hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for your time. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.